Hi, it's Martin and welcome to another video on my Knit365 YouTube channel. Today's video, I'm not really sure what I'm going to call. It could be week 2 of January, because that's what it is. I'm not really sure. But hi, welcome. I am going to chat today about some of the things I've been working on in the last week. We don't really have a finished object, but we do need to have a discussion about what we call finished skeins. Are they technically finished objects? Because if that's the case, I've had a great week. Hi, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you very much, as always, for being here. If you are a new viewer, hi, you are very welcome. Thank you for giving me a little of your time today. So, yeah, I'm in this bit of a funny week because I don't have any finished objects. We're still only in the second week of... I keep saying it's the second week of January. I know it's not officially the second week of January because it was the first full week of January last week. We don't really count those weird days when you're in work, you're off work, you're in work, you're off work. So it is currently Sunday, the 12th of January, as I'm recording this. And I'm going to have a really lazy day. I'm going to spend the day knitting, of course. And I have some things to show you. So I've made some really good progress on some of my January whips. I've also been doing some spinning. I have a new acquisition I talked about and it's now arrived. So I'll show you that in a minute. So this is going to be a shorter video, I think, than some of the others because I've only really got a couple of projects to chat to you about. I don't think there's any parish notices. Nothing to announce or to share at the beginning of the video. So it will be a shorter, fleeting visit this week. But it's early morning on Sunday. I have my coffee. Mark is up. He's potting around in the bedroom. And then we're going to basically hunker down and spend the day watching telly. I've got to go to band tonight. The sun is just rising, as you can see. I've got to go band this evening. I play in a brass band, for those of you that don't know. I've got band rehearsal 6 till 8. So I think I'm going to have a roast chicken before I go to band. I think that's it. So should we start with spinning? Because I'm a spinner now. I need that on a t-shirt. So thank you so much, first of all, for all the support and the love on the video on Friday, my unboxing video. Loads of you, I think, appreciated the honesty. And I always say this on these channels, right? So I try to be unedited. If I make a mistake, you get a... and I'll just keep going. I don't really want to edit, more because I'm a little bit lazy. And I could spend hours editing and making the perfect video and the perfect segment. And I try not to do that. I try to be quite natural and quite genuine. And I did think about doing a warts and all unboxing because with any new skill, I feel like it isn't perfect. And if I went back to my first knitting project that's got all the holes in it and my first Starflake mystery knit shawl where I did brioche for the first time, there's bits in the wrong place. And I think that's part of the journey. And certainly for me, I think I appreciate watching and hearing from people that make mistakes. So I decided, I had kind of had that discussion with myself and I decided quite early on that the unboxing and my first attempts at spinning was going to be a warts and all because I may have just clicked and I may not have, and I didn't, clearly. So thank you very much for all of the love and the comments on that video. I am going to keep the spinning videos mostly separate throughout January, just so that I can more specifically blog about those. So there will be a spinning video every Friday with what I've spun this week. So it's going to be a bit weird because now I want to talk about today, Monday. Oh, when you watch this, it's Monday. The things that I've been working on in the week, which includes some spinning, but I want to detail the process in the Friday video so that you can see, and I've got questions and I've done some things wrong again, and yeah, we'll kind of, I think that's going to be the format. So I'll chat about my finished hand spun on a Monday, and then on a Friday, you can see the process and the behind the scenes. I think that's how we'll do it. But also a few of you were like, yay, you kind of all celebrated when I think there was an aha moment in it, and I was going, I went, I'm doing it. And I kind of had the realization, and I really, yeah, I've now got the spinning bug. I've done quite a lot of knitting. Every evening I've been really disciplined and forced myself to knit, but I now just want to spin everything to the point I've had to buy fibre. I haven't had to buy fibre, to the point I have bought fibre because I'm going to run out of things to spin. Mark, don't sit still long enough. He'll be through the machine. So yeah, thank you very much for the support on this spinning video. So let's do some spinning, then we'll do knitting, then we'll do acquisitions, and then we'll wrap this up. So spinning wise, you all saw in Friday's video this. So this was the one that I learned to spin on as we were going. It is a super chunky, I've only got about 15 meters. I've probably wasted more. I need to weigh that out. I've probably wasted more than I've got in a finished yarn, but that's okay. This is my first one. It will be something. I just don't know what it will be yet. Then this week I have another finished skein. Spoiler, I kind of have two finished skeins, but one of them is wet. I've just given it a soak and it's now in the bathroom drying, so I can't show you it. So it's not officially finished, I'm guessing. But this is my second finished skein. So this is fibre I bought from Marina Skewer at Unravel. And it is also a super chunky. I kind of went for chunky. It's right on the border. I think it's something like 7 and 8 wraps makes it chunky, and 5 and 6 wraps make it super chunky, and it's kind of on the cusp. But I'm okay with that. I'd love to be able to, like that, my goal, as I said in the spinning video, is a perfect 4-ply so that I can do my own West knits, machine it along with my own hand spun. But that's like next year's goal. That's not happening this year's mystery knit along. But every spin, I would love to be able to get like consistently into like a double knit or an Aran. So every spin I do now, I'm trying to reduce it down. So yeah, I finished it. This was a blended fibre, which now I'm talking to you, I can't remember what the blend is. It's Marina's own blend. And it's much more consistent than the yellow. Not sure what's going on with that bit there. So yeah, there we go. Now, the bit that I like about this is both of these started as 100 gram braids. So we can already see an improvement in as much as I have a lot of yarn on this one and I have not so much yarn on this one. I've not actually measured it yet, so I don't know how much fibre I've actually got in the green, but it's considerably more than the yellow. So we can see progress because I said both started with 100 grams and I've now got much more on the green one. So I wasted a lot less. In Friday's video, I will show it off in more detail. I've set up a spreadsheet. Those of you who've been around for a while know I love a number. I love a spreadsheet. My Toft patches, I've set up a spreadsheet with conditional formatting on it that lists out all of the patches that are in existence, the ones I have and the ones I've made corresponding projects to, and it gives me a little percentage in the corner and changes colour. Corporate geek. So I've also set up a spreadsheet and it's got things like the type of fibre, the start weight of the braid, the finished weight of the braid, the approximate weight as in super chunky or chunky, and the actual measurements of how much fibre in like 100 meters, for example. And my idea is that I'm going to track my progress, so then when with my hand spun, I've then got a list and I've got a tracker so I know what I've got. But more importantly, to be able to see where I get to, because this one, did I say wastage? Wastage, I've probably got, say, 50 grams of wasted fibre. Whereas this one, I may have 30 grams of wasted fibre. So over time, I want to get to a position I've got no wasted fibre. But if you don't know the way you start, you don't know where you're going. Kind of. So yeah, I'm really happy. Big learning on this one. It's much better now. But and you'll see it in the video on Friday, it had a lot of twist. It is very much, there are parts of it that are massively overplied. I was really happy with how I was spinning it. It was drafting easier. I was getting into a bit of a rhythm. And then you can see it's kind of a twist. Maybe I was holding. When I was plying it, I don't know what I did. And I don't think I think I lost concentration for a moment. And it did that thing. It wouldn't feed through because there was too much twist in it. So, and also there's a cut because I then had to cut it. I don't know how to join in when you're plying. When you're spinning, I know how to join in because you just add the new fibre to the old fibre and you keep going. But when it's spun, you've got two ends. So I basically just tied the knot and pulled it tight. And off I went again. But I had to take some out. I did waste some because I overplied it. So yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. I think I'm just going to have a big stash of handspun. I've also ordered labels. Little luggage tags I'm going to write all the information on, so I can also refer to the spreadsheet. But I can also, pull it out of stash and have a little look. So I'm really happy with this one. And I have another spin, as I said, which I'll show off on Friday. That's the brown art bat that I've been spinning for a while on my drop spindle. Because this all started because I said to Mark, I'd quite like a wheel for Christmas. And then because we then agreed I was going to get a wheel for Christmas, I'm not very good at hand skeening. I definitely don't need an electronic skein twister like the dyers have got. That's one step too far. But when I said to Mark about having a spinner for Christmas, I then saw that Charmaine from Yarn Tings had a Christmas fibre box on sale. So I picked that box up. So part of my Spinuary journey is I also can't do this bit, sorry, distracted. When you put it on a niddy noddy, you've got an end. What do I do with this end? Because I can't, so I hold it on the top of the niddy noddy, then I wind it. And then when I take it off the niddy noddy, I just get the random end. What do I do? What am I meant to do with that? Because now what I'm doing is I now try and see, I've got two ends. Oh my God. I know I'm not aiming for perfection, but I would quite like it to at least look aesthetically pleasing. What was I saying? Charmaine fibre box. Yeah, so I bought the fibre box and they are 12 little packages. Did I show them off? I think I showed them off in the spinning video. I've definitely shown them somewhere. 12 little packages tied up with string. These are a few of my favorite things. And my ideal is throughout January to learn some of the techniques and the skills to be confident enough to spin all 12 of them up. So I think at the moment, my plan is going to be break them all in half and spin each half onto a bobbin. And then, I was thinking, do I spin them in half? More on that on Friday's video. We'll have no content for Friday otherwise, will we? So I'm going to spin them anyway, and I want to get more confident in spinning before I do that as a kind of like a specific spin project. I also realize I can't talk and do this at the same time because I can't do two things at once. This is the pat your head and rub your tummy type thing. I've lost my train of thought now. Oh, so the brown yarn, I've been drop spindling. Are you all going, Martin, focus. The brown yarn that I was drop spindling is the same. It's an art bat. So it's brown fibre with flecks of orange and yellow sari silk. It's that one. It's the same concept as the mini bumps of fibre that I've got in the Christmas box. So I thought I'd have a go, and I loved, oh my word, spinning carded fibre is so much easier than actual fibre. I loved it. So I did that, and I also, for the first time, I sat on the floor. We watched telly. I had a really lovely time. I think it's also coming out as a chunky, which is okay, because some of it I was spinning. I was like, oh my word, this could be DK. Like, it was spinning really fine, but then there are some bits that have not quite. And in plying, and then it plumps up. And yeah, I think it's a chunky, but I've just washed it, so I need to see what it's like when it's dried. But I've spun that, and I've then got another braid of fibre ready. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know which one is coming. I talked about it. It's the multicoloured. I'm going to try and do a fractal spin, which is when you strip it down and break it into its different parts, and then try and keep the colour progression. So that's going to be fun. But yes, there we go, spinning. So one finished skein to share this week, one drying, and then yeah. When I do any spinning, I don't think I'm going to do any spinning today. I want to make some progress on my knitting projects. But this week, when I finish work each evening, I'll get back to doing a little bit of spinning. But thank you so much for comments and tips on the last video. There were so many lovely and really constructive tips and things that I can do differently. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And if you didn't watch that video and you're thinking, oh, spinning's not really for me, I'm here for the knitting, that's absolutely fine. And that's kind of why I'm putting them into two, rather it's a dedicated video to my kind of spinning journey. But if you are interested, go and watch that one. I would encourage you. And yeah, let's go on that spinning journey together. So, 2 whips I've been working on this week. So I talked in my first video about what I'm going to do. I've got 5 projects that I want to rotate throughout January. It's working so far. I've not cast anything on. No new projects in January. I haven't given them as much attention as I'd have liked because of spinning. But my main focus last week was my exploration station, which is living in this awesome rainbow bag by Hide and Hammer. And I have been obsessed with brioche. Who would have thought that, right? So this was my progress. So when you saw this, in the this is what I'm going to make in January video. I'd finished this section. So section 1 is the segments. It is on a big needle. Let me see if I can just spread it out so that you can see it. It's on 2 needles with an extender, and it's still not quite big enough. I did think this was going to be a big shawl. So this is the Exploration Station by Stephen West, and it's top down. So these are the wedges using Anton's Weekly Advent in these really lovely neutral, natural colours. So I'd spent some time over New Year working on the wedges, and I'd just put in this brown section here when I showed it to you last. So in the last week, I've knit the entire brioche section. And yeah, to say I'm obsessed is an understatement. In this wool by Anton, brioche is so squishy anyway, but in this really natural fibre, because it's 100% wool, oh, it's lush. And I know some people have sensitivities to 100% wool, and people like their merino, and I love my merinos, but I do like a sheepy, yeah, I could wear this again. This is going to be an amazing shawl. But I finished my brioche. That's not a hole. You put yarn overs, back in. Every now and then when I was knitting the last couple of rows I did, I was like, I've dropped a stitch, and then no, they're actual yarn overhauls. No word of a lie, at least 4 or 5 times, I caught myself thinking I had a hole and I dropped a stitch. They are intentional. They are part of the pattern. So yeah, I've done my brioche. And I'm not going to lie, I think it's error-free. And I didn't have to fix anything. So I have been really obsessed by it. I really, really, really love it. If you spot an error, like I've looked at it so many times and there's no scarves across the front of them. If you spot one, please don't put it in the comments because you're going to ruin my day. But yeah, so that's with colour B on that side. And then on the reverse, we've got colour C. So that was my knitting last week, predominantly working on the brioche. I have started the next section. They're called Sassy Slips, I think. You can't really see the pattern yet. It's in the darkest colour, so it's in colour D. But also you can't, there's not enough of it to make out the pattern yet. I am not going to love this section at all because every other row is knit one, purl one, and we're on 300 stitches. So the excitement that I had about, oh, I'm going to get home from work and I'm going to work on my brioche, I'm not sure who I've become, has now slowly kind of waned into the, knit one, purl one for 300 stitches. That's a lot of movement. And I know if I do it continental, I can't purl continental. I could do two-handed colour work, but it will affect my tension. I'm not teaching myself to relearn to knit. I know if I do it in my left hand, it's much easier to knit and purl. I'm a thrower. I'm always going to be a thrower. So I'm just going to have to put up with the fact that I'm going to have to do a little rave on every stitch. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that I have to stop this now because my 5 projects, 10 hours at a time, then we rotate, and hopefully I'll make progress on all 5. I kind of want to throw my game out of the window and I just want to work on this. And whether I do 50 hours in a block or 5 lots of 10, in theory, by the end of the month, I've made the same amount of progress. You can see, right? It's only the first week and I'm already trying to talk myself out of what I'm doing. But I haven't. I've gone on to my next project. So I've made some really good progress on Exploration Station. That's probably going to stay in hibernation now for this week, at least, because I've moved on to other projects. So we will just see what I end up working on next week. But, oh my God. Gorgeous. Then, what is it, Sunday? Friday night, I finished work. I'd done my 10 hours on my Exploration Station. I think I might have done 11 hours. I finished the brioche and I was like, I know, I'll do the next, I'll do the yarn over row and then I'll just start the first bit of the pattern so I'm ready to then go. So I've then picked back up my Hibernate Along shawl. So this is another one on my January rotation. It is another Stephen West shawl. So this is Glow Hair Frost. I think it's this year's or last year's Hibernate Along shawl. The last time you saw it, I was in this eyelet section by here. So this section 1 with this rib stitch effect. Into section 2, I think it's called Buds and Eyelets. So we've got these bobbles, and then into this little bud design. And now we're into a cable and lace section. So, I'm not going to lie, I'm enjoying it and it's very rhythmical now I'm in it, but it's very slow going. Because the lace pattern is actually okay. It's easy to remember. The cables aren't necessarily showing up as well in this yarn. I'm hoping it's going to bloom slightly and then the cable will have a bit more stitch definition. But it's cables in the middle. See, when I block it, I'll push them together like that and I'll give them a little tug and make them stand out a bit more. But it's just the combination of the lace and the cable, and we're on 280 something stitches. A row there and back is about 40 minutes. And I'm not necessarily a slow knitter. I'm not the speediest of knitters, but I'm an average knitter. Like, I'm not too slow. I'm not too quick. But yeah, it's kind of a bit slow going. So I'm over halfway on this pattern now. I've got 7 more tangent. If you're knitting stocking stitch, so you're knitting something flat, this doesn't apply in the round. If you're knitting something flat and it's in stockinette and you've got to do a knit row and a purl row, do you have to make sure in your head that you've got enough time to do the knit and the purl row? Like, you can't just do the knit row, then put it down and go out to the shops. That's in my head. Like, I think I would feel a bit uncomfortable. Just, it feels like I'm halfway through a row, putting it down and then just leaving it. Then I come back and I got to do the purl row. It's also more exciting to do a knit row than a purl row, I think. I'm not a big fan of purling. Does anyone else have that random thought? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I can't really just stop. So I've got to have time to do a knit and a purl. Like, it's not a hard and fast rule, right? If I did need to go out, I would obviously go out. I'm like, no. But I do say to Mark, oh, 1 more row, then we'll go, because I've got to do the purl row back. Random tangent, but relevant because I've got 7 more rows. So I've got 14 rows left in this section. So I've got 7 more knit and purl row. Oh, what's that? Oh, your sound systems may go off now in a moment. Hey Siri, what's 7 times 40 minutes?
I can show them if you ask again from your
I did that, didn't I? Hey Siri, what's 7 times 40 minutes?
7 times 40 is 280.
Hey Siri, what's 280 divided by 60?
280 divided by 60 is approximately 4.6666.
Right, I can't do maths in my head. Mental arithmetic has never... My brother, studying to be an optician, maths, fractions, angles, does it. Maths, not my thing. Right, so I've got about 5 hours of knitting left then. Well, that's okay though, actually, because on I want to do 10 hours on a project. If I do my 5 hours on this, then I can do the next section. There's an interim section, so we're doing another reverse stocking stitch like this. So I can then add in the next colour. Oh, that's going to be good. Then I can put this down and go on to the next project. So this week though is, well, today, and then see how far I get. Oh, maybe 5 hours of knitting. I could finish that today, couldn't I? We'll see. So I'm going to finish this section, introduce the 4th colour. So I don't think I said it. This is Gemma's, the Little Grey Girls weekly advent from December just gone. So I love it. I really, really, really love it. And I'm doing cabling without a cable needle. So when I get there, Stephen's got a great tutorial video. If you don't know how to do that and you want to watch, search for West Knits cabling without a cable needle. And he's got a video. So you put the stitches in where you want, you take the other 2 like off the needle and hold them slightly. It's really good. And it actually is a lot quicker than using an actual cable needle. So really, really happy with my progress on that one. So next Monday, hopefully I'll have finished that section, got the next bit of the clue in, and maybe a finished object. I'm trying to work out then what comes next, whether it's my Toft blanket or the sock. Probably the sock, because I've only got like half a foot to go. So hopefully we'll have a finished object next week. But also I could finish nearly the Toft blanket. I'm not sure what's going to come as my next project, or whether something's going to come out. I don't think it will. I think I'll stick to the rules. It's only January. I kind of can't break the rules this early in the month, can I? Can I? I know you're all going to be like, Martin, stick to the rule. we'll see. Stay tuned. So then, final bit for then is stash acquisitions and top-ups. So I have bought some fibre. So Gemma, my friend, runs the Little Grey Girl. I have a number of Gemma's project bags. This was my wages from Unravel last September. Gemma was making some more of these sheep bags, so she very kindly gifted me a sheep bag. I love them. All the sheeps. So this is a large project bag. Not sure what's going to live in it. Maybe my handspun for now, so that at least I know where they all are until my labels arrive, and then I can label them all, and then it can look so cool. And not like yarn band labels. I haven't gone that far. Just like luggage tags. I just bought some luggage tags, basically, that I've had my logo for Knit365 printed on. So yeah, so I have this project bag. But Gemma had a sale over Boxing Day and into New Year, and in the sale, I bought some fibre. So this is semi-solid blue face Leicester. So it's 100% blue face Leicester. It is 100 grams and it's in the Stansfield colourway. And this is my ultimate favourite colour that Gemma does. I've got a granny cardigan that I've made in it. I'm trying to encourage Gem to do, she does a fade wonderfully. And she's got like a green tealy fade. She's got a pinky fade that I'm using in the sock that I mentioned. It's going to be a sample for Gemma. I'm trying to get her to do a Stansfield fade. Oh. And then she can do me a Stansfield fade. Then I can have a sweater quantity of it. I can buy that and then make a Mild Mania sweater that then fades in the blues on the body with a grip. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. That will be a new cast on at some point. And if I get as obsessed with that project as I did when I made Mark's, because Mark's got a Mild Mania sweater, I made it, no word of a lie, in like a week and a half. I did nothing. I didn't sleep. I didn't knit on anything else. I loved it. So I'm kind of hoping for the Stansfield fade, Gemma, if you're watching. But yeah, I bought some fibre. So, yeah, Gemma started doing fibre. It was a new product launch, Yarndale, I think. So that would have been October, November time. And yeah, so I picked up some fibre, which I bought in from Gemma's web shop update. I'll pop Gemma's details in the description box below if you want to go and check out what's in her shop at the moment. But I'm very excited to get spinning on this one. Never spun Blueface Leicester, so that's going to be a new one. It seems to be, it pulls away quite easy. So I think someone said on the last video that Blueface Leicester is a good beginner. Merino, we talked about it, it's nice and soft, but apparently it's not good for spinners to begin with. It needs a bit of technique to wrestle it through the machine, whereas Blueface Leicester apparently is a bit better. So this may go on the wheel this week. We'll see. Depends how long it's going to take me to do my colour changing one. So that's this week's task, is to do the colour changing one. So stay tuned for more spinning fun. I'm going to do these videos throughout January and document what I'm learning, and then they'll just start to get incorporated into the usual weekly video about the things that I've done. The only reason I'm doing them separate, as I said, I'm talking more about the process. I'm showing how I'm drafting and the things I've learned. So I'm keeping them separate for the minute, just throughout January, and then full integration back into the blog. So I'm very much looking forward. I said, I don't think I'm ever going to have a massive fibre stash, because at the moment I'm obsessed by the new technique I've learned, the new skill I've learned, or I'm learning. I've absolutely not mastered it yet. I'm still butchering things, and like there's a big lump that goes through, and I'm like, oh, I might pull that back out to then retwist it, put a bit more twist in it, and then I pull it back out, and because I didn't spin it properly, it breaks. Then I've got to wind that whole thing off and then try and join it, and then it breaks again. Like there's still so many mistakes. But I'm loving the learning process. But I think every time I buy some fibre now, I just want to get my wheel out and spin it. Maybe I'll spin it today. No, I need to finish this today. See, I didn't need another hobby. This was why I didn't want a wheel. Albeit, what's happened, Mark predicted, I would have a wheel, it would be the new thing, and I would just be getting going on it. So far, so good. It's not living dusty in the corner. We're doing well. So, there we go. That was my acquisition for this week. I have ordered some yarn as well. I think I said a couple of weeks ago. It was a pre-order, so it's not arrived yet. So that's the only thing that's arrived into the flat this week. Doing well. Oh, I need to add this to we'll do a monthly tally at the end. So I need to now check this in. So I've now added 100 grams to my stash. But actually, when I weigh these, I've then taken out, I'm going to have to claim 100 grams taken out because the wastage is no good to man or beast. So actually, I'm down already because I've spun 200 grams and I've only bought 100 grams. I'm weighing in and out my stash this year so I can see if I can use more than I buy. I'm not going on a yarn ban. Tried that a few years ago. Didn't work for me. No. So there we go. That is everything I had to talk about. So we've come to the end of the video. I said it would be a bit of a shorter one this week. I've done lots and lots of knitting, but only on a few projects, which is good because I'm focused. I'm not flitting between lots of things and not making any progress. That brioche, I really wish you could squish it. Somebody needs to invent squish vision. But yeah, thank you very much for giving me a little bit of your time today. Thank you very much for being here. As I say, I don't ever underestimate having all of you lovely Knit365 folks in my little community. I really, really do appreciate it. It's lovely to have you all here. And as long as you keep watching the videos, I'll keep making them. So I'm really, excited. I've got a couple of collaborations coming up. Some people have got in touch and are going to send me some product, which I think some of you will love. So I'm going to do those videos. That'll be a February thing, but that's exciting. That happened this week. So I've got some yarn on order from them. So yeah, lots and lots going on, lots of knitting. That's important. I think I might do the crochet blanket once I've switched from this. I've only got 2 rounds to go and I'm finished. So I might do, and I like a bit of crochet. Good evening, good tally watching. So I think I might do some crochet this week as well once I finish that bit of the shawl. So I'm going to wrap this video up because otherwise you know what I'm like. I'll still be here chatting in 10 minutes later. You're like, you've not told us anything. And it's like having you all here. I've got someone to talk to. Verbal diarrhea. Once I get going, I can't stop. So thank you very much for being here. Let me know in the comments below how your week has been. What have you been working on? Knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving. Someone tried to encourage me to get a loom after I mentioned the loom. I'm not getting a loom. Definitely not. Not this year anyway. Let me know what you've been working on. Let me know, have you bought anything lately? Tell me all of the fun things that you've been getting up to. I love to read all of your comments. So I'll be back on Friday for you with the next spinning video. And then I'll be back on Monday with another update and progress video on my knitting activities. I'll put the details for TikTok again. I'm trying a thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be a permanent thing, but I'm trying a thing. So I'm blogging every day on the TikTok. 60-second videos about the spins. So I'll pop the TikTok details down. If you have an account and you want to come and follow me over there, come and have a look. You can get a few kind of early access to some of the spinning activities and fun things I'm doing. So thank you very much for being here. I'm now going to go. And until we speak again, happy crafting.